Hey everyone, we'll be starting in a moment. I'm getting everything set up. Okay, let's post it there. There. This can go now. And everything seems to be connected and fine, so let us begin. Hi everyone, welcome to another stream and the first for this week. Today, we are continuing with Apollo Justice. We had, last time I had to stop in the middle of, I nearly said interrogating, but cross-examining, kind of the same thing. Professor Means, after it was found out that he was missing from his observation seat during the mock trial, and his speech was pre-recorded, so he may have killed the teacher. And now we have to find out, because he's really the only suspect that would get all three fans off being the culprit. So, there was that. We found out that Hugh is an idiot, and he hurt his hand. He has a bandage hand. For some reason, it seems as though in the Phoenix Wright world, or the Ace Attorney world, if you injure your hand, the entire thing has to be wrapped up like a cocoon. Which is, I don't think how it works. In the real world, you would actually have each individual like wrap so you could still move your fingers if need be, but not enough to be like, oh, I've reopened my wound. You know, but they would, if in that case, if you don't want to move it, they probably put it in a cast, but you know, that's whatever. Anyway, we're going to continue with that. We're going to see how much we can get done today. We might finish the case today, or we might need to do next stream as well, but we shall see. Other than that, let's continue where we left off. Where are you, game? There you are. Skip. There. Refresh this. Okay. Everything seems to be all right. Let us go. So I don't know how well I'm about to do today. I am recovering from sleeping only a few hours the other day still, so I might be like, ugh. We go. We'll see. 25, 21. Rightio. I'm gonna reread this so that I can just get his voice back so I remember. So it's like, Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court. There we go. Okay.
Hold it!
Did you consider that a threat? Yes, but it is now you to whom she has passed her demands on to. Miss Sykes, you must realize that you too are being used by Juniper. What? Your Honor, I ask that you too do not let her feigned weakness and innocence fool you. Juniper Woods is quite clever and extremely tough. And perhaps most important of all, she is a fervent follower of my teachings.
Objection!
Your Honor, the witness testimony is nothing but an attack on our client's character. Very well. Objection sustained. So be it. Nevertheless, the fact that she threatened me is immutable. You can't make it. If you make it to the end of the case, just start as you sleep. It will be a bit too early for me to sleep. By the time we stop, it's like 8 or 9 p.m. Depending on what time I start. That'd be a very early bedtime. Won't get any dinner. But I will be trying to go to bed early. Like last night I went to bed at like 7:45 a.m. So today I'll probably try and go to bed at like 5. I'm using my alibi, dude.
Hold it!
How could you overlook such a threat? As a teacher, it's your duty to discipline students. He's also the headmaster, so... Yes, well, perhaps I do have some serious reflection to do on this matter. I suppose it was just wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that Juniper hadn't actually committed murder and that she didn't mean to threaten me. Really? Please, do explain. Long had I awaited for a student who would embody my teachings. Does the witness realize what he is saying? Surely you see that the true meaning in my words. I'm merely staying true to what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the times. Oh, wow, his way of thinking is really warped. I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet. I wouldn't be so sure. Really? The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we see inconsistencies. I only said that incontinences or something. Between his actions and words. It is a dark age in which we live, and there is much I would like to say on the matter.
Hold it!
You were trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. He'll say anything to pin the blame on Junie. What a frightful look. I would ask that you not glare at me so. I'm nothing but admiration for how Juniper was willing to go as far as to threaten me. That is why I'm protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student. Liar! You try to pin the blame on her. How am I going to show that what he's saying isn't what he's really thinking? You cannot possibly overturn my claims, so it isn't about time you admitted defeat. After all, if my unassailable logic is not truth, then what is? If he thinks I'm going to give in to his back of lies, he's got another thing coming. I'm going to find a hole in his story, and if it's the last thing I do. Even though he's rotten to the core, he's a total pro. I mean, that's all made perfect sense. Yeah, but you can't believe a word he says. He's making this up as he goes along. He'll trip up on his own words yet. Time to see how consistently the professor's testimony matches up with his actual actions. So... I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recordings. This was where they said that, wait a minute, every time you press something, they get stuff shown out. I don't know if any of this is actually going to be helping me yet, or if I need to push more on something else. Seamless armor. All arrows. Let's start from the beginning again.
Hold it!
Thought our client would come to you with something like that. You have a point there. If only Professor Court had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead. So, our client came to talk to you after Professor Court was dead? Let's go through this step by step, shall we? First, Juniper came to me that day.
Hold it!
Are you suggesting it was our client who told you a fake alibi? You have every reason to be surprised. I too was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that she wished to protect that badly. Is he kidding me? That lie couldn't be further from the truth. The problem is, how am I going to expose it? It was an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused?
Hold it!
Consider that threat. Just realized that you're two being used. I just did this one.
Objection!
Nothing but slander. Immutable.
Hold it!
I've overlooked such a threat. Teacher, discipline students. Use of matter. Ownership, membership, sure. The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies between his actions and words.
Hold it!
Client, paying the blame. Admiration. Return my claims. This goes this up this way. This is invested mention the actual actions. There's something here, but I'm not quite sure what yet. The only thing I can think of is that it's got to be to do with the recording. Because there are two recordings. We've got the one that was in the lecture hall itself, and then we've got the other one, which would mean that it was recorded at the same time. Either that or it was edited, created later. But that's still... Let me do a save real quick.
Objection!
Nope. This piece of evidence clearly reveals the inconsistency in the witness's testimony. I've been doing this far too long to be fooled by such nonsense. I really tried hard that time too. Your Honor, can I at least get credit for trying? Very well, I hereby award Miss Sykes the Court Wasted Effort Award. That's enough. I see no need to prolong this trial any further. The defense case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims. The court finds the defendant, whatever her name is, guilty. And thus the future was made into a paradox. That's cool. It immediately just opens the door again. I think that's the first time we failed on this game. The previous one we failed on, we did the thing. The fact that it does it here as well is cool. Oh, I've got full bar now. Okay. Sure. Training seminar, mock trial begins. It's very rough. Okay, I didn't see that before. I already presented that. That didn't work. This could work because it says accomplice after losing my alibi to the pre-recording, because the murder was attempted on the night of that murder, on the night. And if he's here, that means he would be too busy. But then that would be showing that he has an alibi. So I don't know if that's the right one. Maybe this one?
Objection!
Nah. Please look at this. That's right. There's no need to explain anything. This piece of evidence says it all. All that it says to me is that you're completely wrong. I guess that won't fly. I like that one. Consult. There's a consultation? You mind letting your slightly senior party help you out now, Lil? If you insist. Actually, I could really use the help. Well, I find this statement suspicious. You should find the answer if you take a good look at the evidence. Thanks, Apollo. That helped nothing, Apollo. You literally said, "Hey, maybe you should look at the evidence." I'm like, "That's what I'm doing." What? That doesn't help. I can get used to this humble version of you, you know. I didn't even see this console button. I was like completely blind until it was flashing. Wait, it's doing it on this one. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. This statement suspicious. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to press E, not R. It's basically, this is almost as bad as when you do a game and it's like, would you like to activate easy mode? And I'm like, no, I could do it, but I didn't know it was a button, so I was just like, let's try it. Not trust script. I think probably be better to use this, because if it was, he wouldn't have made this, which would have implicated him or her.
Objection!
So let me get this straight. You were trying to help Miss Woods. Huh, that's nothing more than a bald-faced lie, no offense, Your Honor. Such defamation of my character and your hair follicles, Your Honor. It is an outrage. Miss Sykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time. Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now, please take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it." There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise, involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
Objection!
That tape contained our client's voice. In short, it's incredibly damaging evidence. Why would it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions. Only lies to protect yourself while blaming others. That works. The same line, but different read. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law. Why, you dare call my teachings and methods lies? Dimas Legal Academy is a proud institution. It is the most powerful in the world. You'll never forget what true education and lawyering means once I'm through with you. Huh? Professor Means, what's with your hair?
Quiet time, talk, no talking in class. Ow! Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We will begin with roll call. Athena Sykes.
Huh? Oh, here?
Apollo Justice.
I'm fine. I mean, I'm here. Imagine if they were actually in school and this is how they actually do this.
Board, the proper response is here without any extraneous information.
Ow! I mean, here.
Next, Your Honor. Here. See, class, that's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackwell. I said, Simon Blackwell. Are you even here or not?
There's always one, isn't there?
Well then, I'll just mark you absent. Now get out of my class this instant.
Get out. I need to remember how to do his voice. Very well, if that is your wish. Who am I to find my homeroom teacher?
Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackwell is free of his shackles. It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinary committee. But is that really so shocking?
Constabulary lapdogs to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, fool bright.
Very good, Bobby. You have just earned a gold star and promotion to head disciplinarian. All right, class is now in session.
Why do I have to be the sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomachache? I like that a board just comes out of nowhere.
Pay attention, I am not the killer. Juniper is. This will be on the next test, so you had better be listening.
Objection!
But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial.
Juniper is the killer. I am innocent.
I was not at school.
Athena, you disappoint me so, to think you would label me a murderer. Now pay attention, the murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. But I was already at home by that time, so how could I have been involved in this crime?
Objection!
We know that's wrong. Professor Means, can you really prove you had really gone home by that time?
Can you prove that I was still at school?
No. No, I can't. Yes, you can! What are you on about? Do you just completely forget we have photos of him being at school?
So you admit it. Well, you just earned an extra credit for your honesty. But you have also learned yourself lavatory cleaning duties until you graduate.
Ew. Do enough of that in the office.
No way, man! I totally object!
Robin? Can't believe I fell for the Professor's silver tongue lies.
Why, you? How dare you talk about your teacher like that?
I'm not listening to you anymore, man! No way, no how! No, I have a confession to make. You know those two statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself! Statues on stage? Well, I don't know where this is headed. I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I could finish the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me.
In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell.
I'm reading it in the wrong voice because you said Professor Means in chat. I went into the Professor Means voice. In other words, the professor was there on the stage as the last bell. Right, and it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished.
Professor Means was at school? This is incredibly important testimony. professor told me. I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I'd made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin. Quick, somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight. Simon, you're head honcho among the delinquents. Do something. Ah! But who's in charge of the class pet around here? Not interested. If you want to class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. I mean, you mentioned him, I guess was what I meant to say, but yeah. It's your fault. I blame you. You're banned. Of course, only real blades will do. No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Ah! Nurse! Where's a school nurse when you need one? Repair Sykes Dodo seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case, you would do well to draw your staff quick as lightning. Very well, then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lesson begins in second period. Oh, they said second period style. That's not what I said. Prepare to be served old school style. What does that mean? Oh well, never mind. Your testimony, please. You're so buff. Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant Juniper saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit a murder? You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues? Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't deny it now. That evening, I went back to my dressing room. I went back to my dressing room and forgot there. It was there after the last bell rang. I'd say maybe around 8:30. That's when I noticed that both stage statues were finished. They were quite large and they were each covered with a white sheet, I could tell. All right, the professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as L-O-N-G long. So personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish it in that sort of time. Ugh, I didn't exactly help our case. But he wouldn't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. If he hits that chalk hard enough, it's going to snap.
Hold it!
Miss Newman took over half a day? Can you please be a little more precise than that? What a wonderful question. She was having quite a tough time, you see. Prosecutor Gavin's statue alone took her from the morning hours into the evening. Well, it is a rather large statue after all. Don't be silly. It merely exposes the difference between student and teacher.
Hold it!
Most of the other statue? What exactly does that mean? Robin created the basic outline of Mr. Wright's statue before the last bell rang. And I, in turn, completed the rest of it. I see. In academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of statue making, didn't you? Why, you insolent little... It is the practical application built upon the basics that makes so much time. Professors such as I mastered the basics a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all loyalty and fundamentals. Quiet you. Now, do you understand? I did not leave that stage until I was done. On Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? Not on your life, Buster!
That is gotta be the best response. Damn right I'm gonna choose that. No, I don't. I know there's more to this, and I won't stop until the truth comes out.
The more you struggle, the more you sink. So much legal quicksand, so to speak. I used the world's ultimate technique to complete the statue by 8:30 p.m.
Hold it!
Maybe our client only thought she saw the statues?
Silence!
Pity for you, but we already confirmed it was with the accused. She is on record as having both seen statues. That's not what I said, but screw you, voice actor. Me. Yeah, that's true. Just thought I'd give it a shot.
Ha ha ha! I have the ultimate in courtroom techniques. It is absolutely airtight. I will bury you. This will be your final resting place along with all who believed in you.
Is there no way to get to this guy?
You better pay attention. Pay very close attention.
Hold it!
Why were you in such a hurry?
In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That's why I went to bed at 9 p.m. each day and every night. And that's why I was working so fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime. Well, ready to concede that I never left the stage?
You accept the witness's life. Not in your life. No, there's more to this. Won't stop till truth comes out. And be careful, Athena. If you don't have anything, it's probably best to just grin and bear it for you now until you have something to nail him with. Yeah, let me push everything first, and then I will.
When will you cease this nonsense? I am quite busy today, as I was the night of the crime.
Hold it!
Yeah, but you could have taken a short break or something.
Preposterous! I didn't even have 10 minutes to spare. Not even 5 for a visit to the lavatory. Let me ask you, Your Honor, did you find anything wrong with my claim? So far, it appears that your statue making was quite a difficult chore. And I see nothing that would overturn your claim. You never left the stage.
The art room is only a few steps away. What's the plan? All I could think of is pressing him like crazy. That's all I could think of too. We'll just have to seek out a hole to exploit. Okay, now we've gone through the whole thing. Which one was it that had the "do you accept it" thing? I should want to check. 603. I think it was this one. Just pressing it and then was. Yep. I tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. I guess I concede.
I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time.
I concede the professor means never left the stage.
That's right. But what took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime.
I'm not going to give up here.
I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. And unless you have any further objections, I have to put this issue to rest.
Objection!
Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you've thought of something? Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors? Not yet, Athena. It's not time to quit.
It's at times like these when it seems like there's no way out that you have to. Yeah, I have to turn the case upside down and burn the whole place down. That rhymed. It didn't rhyme because it was the same word, but yeah. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art, I should focus on how he committed the murder without going there. It seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary, even casting stones, if it will distract her. Ah, who brought the bird to school? Saxton, if I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I shall have you on head. The murder occurred in the art room and the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between those two key facts? If I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, the only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it! Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the crime scene. That seems to be the only logical step. If Professor Means was on the stage the entire time, then he must be the killer. Ridiculous! The defense has become utterly incoherent.
Objection!
No, it's just the murder hasn't occurred where we thought it was. Continue, Saxton. Okay, the murder was actually committed here. Well, it's already on it, so I'll just press present. The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved to the art room, or from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all. Silly girl. When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would be some if there had been blood, if there wasn't somewhere. That was. What am I reading? Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed. There wasn't any blood on the stage? Really? But there was someone on stage at the time of the murder that's now bloodstained. Well, that would be this.
Take that!
It's true, there were no bloodstains on the stage floor, but there was something on the stage that did have a bloodstain. And that would be this, the school banner. No blood would have got on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed. But then wouldn't the entire thing be covered in blood? Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence!
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense. That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon the banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire makes more sense than not. Ha ha ha! Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice of higher education? I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. Raffatron, I need you to stop because you keep spoiling things before I get to it, and it's starting to actually get on my nerves now. Like, I appreciate it, but I don't want backseating or advice or anything unless I explicitly ask for it. It's in the rules. I put them there. This is a warning, okay? Please stop it. But yes, I can kind of guess that. I'll write you the ultimate recommendation letters. You're all guaranteed to get in.
Objection!
Actually, the defense has something to explain as well. You do? If there was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner, then there must have been something else that the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what. This is what soaked up most of the victim's blood. Because you can see it, it's literally right on top of the other one.
Take that!
Why, it looks there seems to be some kind of fabric on top of the school banner. I'm trying really hard to try and diversify the judge's voice and the freaking Means voice, but they're both got the same. It's the Gaviniers banner that had been recently made for the school concert.
Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have been hit first. Or hit it first. I can't read. It could have easily been absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would have soaked through to the school banner below. So it makes sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it.
So that banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it.
The Gavanier's banner was like a dishcloth? Surely it was at least towel quality. Be more intense? Yeah, he could be.
Simon, don't just stand there, do something!
Silence!
Thanks, Donald, you are learning to wield a blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. But why would there be blood there if the murder occurred on the stage as you claim?
Objection!
The blood stain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we've just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the art room. I mean, we just discussed this, so I assume this.
Take that!
But it's probably the other one. That's probably my mistake, actually. This was used.
You don't say. Care to explain how that would be possible?
Your Honor, nothing is impossible if you put your mind to it. Her reasoning for presenting bad evidence is the best. She's just like, hey, if you just think about it, it's the truth. Besides, all you need is...
Far-fetched arguments like that have no place in the court of law.
Well, it was worth a try.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. I guess I really wasn't. Blood stain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. Blah, blah, blah. It was transported through another means. Probably the burnt cloth. That's the one on the left.
Take that!
To think you'd stoop so low as to present more garbage, mere garbage to this court.
It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. In such a feeling, you know it to be true. Exactly. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked Gavanier's banner to the art room. Then the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Ah! Ah! Order! Order! This is quite a development. To think the body was never actually moved. Hold it right there. The body must have been moved. How else do you explain the loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statue, then what was it?
I hadn't thought of that. If that loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statue, then what was it indeed? It was the statue! The knot in the school banner shows that something was carried along the wire in it. So if that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder and then on the stage after. The object that was sent down the wire to crash into the statues was the statue.
Take that!
That statue?
Yes, I believe it was the statue that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. The Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it, as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence!
Perhaps you are something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrap-heap relic to such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming.
You know why, but the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice moved in order to... Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Did he get the color on? Yeah, he did.
Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi. Ah! That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done. I don't know why I laughed at that, but you should never underestimate me, CDC. What? Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says and says what he means by all means. Fine then. Say it already. I'm waiting. The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until late the next day. Countless students passed the stage till they met the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this. Why didn't anyone see the body that entire time? That can be explained by, If the victim was murdered on stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. Of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage. This is not good, Athena. Our claim is the closest we've been. Our claim is this close to being beat to a pulp. I know. It comes so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter. Consider yourself schooled. I shouldn't have possibly killed anyone. Couldn't have possibly killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been and always will be. Just wait a minute. Poor Juniper. She must seriously regret having asked you to defend her. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convince you to murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco. It's a long one. We'll see. Might, if we finish this one at all. Why are you bad-mouthing the lawyer now? Not only have you failed to defend your client, you also raised false charges against her friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer. For if this trial proceeds in the same manner and ends in the same way as the mock trial, would you not lose everything you've worked so hard to gain? Well, I'll just have to make sure that doesn't happen now, don't it? Homie. I don't know why I say like Marge Simpson. Don't tell me I failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me. You barely started, Athena. We've got this. Worked so hard to become a lawyer and even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again? Yay, trauma! Athena, what's wrong? Oh, homie. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Relax, Athena. Breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, is this how it ends? Forgive me, Judy. I could protect you like I said I would. You leave Athena alone, man. She's the one who saved me. And then the twirl. It's because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between Hugh, Juniper, and I. I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best. But I raised false charges against you. And that's not all. I've done something seriously unforgivable things. Imagine, this is happening in the middle of court and people are just like, what the hell's going on? Look, just continue the court case. Should we have a break? I don't know.
What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You use legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. What does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... It's not over yet, Thena. The power of friendship empowers us. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Junie. I know you better than most people, Thena. And I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie. But I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence!
Stop your bleating this instant. You look like an utter fool. Professor Blackwell?
Professor! Prosecutor! God!
There is one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you have studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked on thus far? I would not do to have you disappoint you-know-who.
Voldemort? You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. You are helpless before the might of lawyers for whom the end justifies the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena, you're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? And that's not true, because there have been cases where they've gotten away in this, even in this franchise. And then we had to go find them. Listen, all you gotta do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. And if there's truth to be found, there's always is, you're sure to find it. Now let me see your smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles.
Basically, it sounds like what he's saying is like, whenever you go through hardship, just bury within, give a false smile. You'll be fine. You're fine. Just ignore the trauma, that's always a good idea.
Thanks, everyone. Don't have to worry about me now. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles.
Athena Sykes is ready to rock. Or Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Prepare for your utter defeat.
Yeah! Brain power time! Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where the body was found. We know because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to be hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along these lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove a body from its hiding place? Let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using using the span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could have moved the body from the hiding place is probably during.
The body was moved during the mock trial.
It's during the mock trial specifically that probably during the speech. The body was moved during the speech. Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. It's 10 minutes, it's not long. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before, specifically the white statue.
During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady of Justice in the school banner and sent it zipping down the stage with a crash, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide a body on that stage? It doesn't seem likely. No, there had to have been someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished but was only mostly done? Something that used to cover the body. But it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged on stage. In that way, no one would have suspected the body was hidden inside. It was already on stage and capable of concealing the body. The Gavin statue? Or the right statue? It could also be the school banner, but I don't know. Because the school banner wasn't on top of her. What this leads to, and it's awesome. Also, you love Athena's earrings. Yeah, her earrings are pretty cool. They're nice. I say cool. I know what I meant. Let's go with the right statue for now. Oh, I got it! The body was hidden by right statue. Oh, I know. The right statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what really inside. I like this photo negative. I don't know why. I just like it. Clearly disguising it as the boss's statue. Miss Newman gave up on the right statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night. Yes, what an impressive feat that was.
Objection!
No, his so-called work of art deserves none of the praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work. The murder of Professor Core. Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow. Also, weren't you just having a PTSD episode? Do you need a moment? I mean, we can have a break. I don't mind. I actually kind of need to stretch my legs, but... No? Okay. He hit the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Right. When the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, it looked like the statue. What? I second that. What? Now this is getting interesting. No, this is getting preposterous. How would such a thing even be possible?
Objection!
We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo, time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Right. I'm gonna pose like the statue, like so. She looks so ridiculous. Like, when you're standing in front of her and she's doing the point, it's like, okay, that's cool. But when she's standing like that, she looks silly. And now I want you to wrap me up in a cloth so that it looks like a statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth? I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice. Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. All right, I think that about does it. What do you think, everyone? Do I look like a statue of Mr. Right or what? Looks like some random person to me. What the statues of a pair of busts? Makes right as that spiky hair on the back of his head. Forget the hair. The statue head is way bigger than the average person's anyway. You gotta hand it for me trying anyway. Wait, that's it. The hands. Her arms are raised over her head and where the dark bruises around the wrist. Yeah, the professors were probably tried with something up. Or with something. Marks on the wrist indicate that she had been tied up. Apollo, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No! Besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how you tie your hands already. Professor Court's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think that it's related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want? Given her hands were tied. Behind my head. Apollo, tie both my hands behind my head. That seems to be the only option to make the spiky hair. Yeah, like that. See? This makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of his right there. She looks so stupid. Sure, but what about the statue's arms? Well, she has the arrow.
Both arms behind your head. You can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make an objection pose like this. Can't help thinking you've forgotten something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now? What did the victim's body have that I don't? The arrow!
Take that!
Oh, right, there was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side. What? Are you crazy? Fine, then go find some duct tape. Rapido, schnell! Alright, alright. I don't know where to find other languages to know bossy when I hear it. Fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from 2 hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now cover me up with that cloth. This is starting to get a bit weird. But remember to make the arrow stand out, okay? I mean, it was weird already, but... Oh, the arm's too short. Shh, remember your indoor voice, dear. Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But what else could I use for the arm?
Still won't give up. I must commend you for if only your spirit and determination. Of course she's not giving up. After all she put me through, she owes me an explanation, and one that makes sense. Now, disappointing me again, and the penalty will be doubly painful.
Yikes. Better get it right through. Get it right this time. Think, Athena, think. Professor Court was murdered when she stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, then he must have used something as close to hand as in his little ruse. Apollo, show me those setup photos again. Like that? Right now? Okay, hold on. Please, please, please be in this photo. It just has to be. The old Mr. Right statue is actually right here. Is it the staff? Or is it the wood? Something tells me she's enjoying this. Yeah, maybe. Just gonna do a little savey save. Screw it.
Take that!
Got it. I know what he used for the arm on the statue of Mr. Right.
This is absurd. There's no such thing in this photo.
Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's a staff you have right there.
Staff? This is a spear of great legal warrior. Or of a great legal warrior.
Whatever, just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't have possibly ejected such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up.
Objection!
How in the hell does that work? She was holding it around her side. How did it get up to her shoulder? Huh? Sure, okay, do it like that. Whatever. It's Phoenix Wright. Look, it's that famous lawyer.
That's definitely him. I know that pose anywhere.
We did it. Didn't we? Well, am I not the spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant golden light? Golden light. All I see before me is the pink spectre of a man. That's just because Mr. Wright likes his statue. He possibly tickled Pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled Pink. Ugh, that jerk deserves a pink slip.
It seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness?
Bah. This resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence.
Objection!
Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. Proof that this spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is... I mean, we could test the spear for blood, because she was holding it to the side. See if it's a staff or a spear. What? We had assumed the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in. But if the wound was from the spear instead, then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it.
Your Honor, a brief recess if you will. I need to dispose of something. By any means possible. What if I get rid of my spear? Wait, what if I burn it?
You're pretty much admitting that right now. What's wrong with a non-guilty verdict? What?
If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I am innocent, I tell you.
If you had chosen something else for the hair, Apollo would have been sent to find Phoenix to tear out his hair. What? Wow, okay.
Objection!
Huh. Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate. Doing? He's dead. He broke his teeth. Now he can't speak.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what has become of our witness Aristotle Means?
It is as Sykes-Donner suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He has admitted to his heinous crime, all of it. He shall join us in the clique tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there. Great. He'll teach felons that the end justifies the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask what the professor's motive was? I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth. One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist too? Eventually had him put pen to paper. Turns out, Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led to her question him at length the day of the killing, right there on the stage. The result, the heinous crime that was brought before the court. A fool like Newman had come to know of the script's contents via the victim's note. It seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script and thus frame the defendant. He's a teacher in California. He doesn't get dental. But that scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark of Professor Court's planner. Yes, about that. Those planners were bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class. Really? So then... Indeed, once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but not like it is not. The scrap belonged to him. This, too, was evidence that the bribery scheme of the victim had obtained. Now that Constant Court was clean and that only Aristotle Mean took the bribes.
To think a professor would murder a colleague, but try to pivot on a student. If this is the dark age of the law, then how can we hope that a broader future awaits? We can hope. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant Juniper Woods.
Woo!
I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all you to make a difference.
Proudly serve, Professor Court's memory. Do not let our death be in vain.
That's the last thing I'd expect to hear from him today.
Court is adjourned.
October 26th. Woo, we did it, yay! Congratulations, everybody. Thank you, Thena. I really mean it. It's nothing, really. I could take the biggest tangled mess of case and unravel it just like that. I don't know if you heard my clicking, but yeah. I don't know. You look pretty wound up there at the end. Literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. I wanted to thank you, Apollo. Don't mention it. The way you were always there for Thena when she was in a bind. And at the detention center where your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of the sun shining down upon a peaceful woodland. There she goes. She's got this now. I think you're an absolute amazing person. Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. But I still have a lot of work to do, and I can't wait till we see you on the judge's bench. I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why until that day, Guys, I got some big news. I mean, this is huge. Oh, I'm interrupting something? No, it's okay, I think. So what's the big news? The school festival, they're supposed to have it been cancelled after what happened, but we just got a call. In memory of Professor Constant Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow. Really? All right. Much cutscene. I don't need to do any voice acting.
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy. Achtung, baby. It's time for the Guitar Serenade.
Literally, it's the same song. It's the same song but played only on guitar. And we don't get to hear her sing. Which I guess is okay. That's fine. But it's kind of weird. Oh, yeah, there's been a murder. You know what? Let's just do the event anyway and just say it's in case of her. Right. You know. Well, that was so much fun. School festivals are amazing. Yeah, don't know about that. Maybe Japan. I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Ah! Your singing voice, Juniper! You could melt my H-E-A-R-T. I'm supposed to be doing a more of a Valley Girl for her, but I'm giving up at that point. She just goes so all over the place, it's kind of hard to try and keep it. Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar. Seminar! Synonyms! Just remember the objection, pose is all about attitude. Oh, and congrats on your mock trial win. Although, Robin had you for a while there. I did, didn't I? But I'm glad we got back to how we used to be, thanks to Athena. And you know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm gonna make it up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court. Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the trial and you won? Full-headed lawyer, course years, and hot-blooded prosecutor, course student. We'll go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the She-Devil's Black Heart. Which means having the staff earlier when it was supposed to be in the press of court. Yeah. So does this mean it's really going to happen? Juniper, what's that everybody wanted to say to you? Huh? Oh, is he going to do what I think he is? Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, best friends that we've always been. Huh? Best friends? Weren't you going to profess your love for Juniper if you won the mock trial? No, I was going to confess
that I'm not a genius and that I'm really 25 years old. But you already dragged it out of me during the trial. Whoops! Listen, Hugh. You too, Robin. Miriam. Oh, she just came out of nowhere. Hi! Me too? Miriam's got this tactical espionage action stuff down to a science. I've been thinking, it's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Why do you have to say the whole thing? Why can't you just say the dark age? Or, you know, the dark law. That would actually be a cooler name. The dark law. Sounds like an evil villain. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And the end never justifies the means. Count me in. It wouldn't have any other way. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship. You bet. And that. What about you? Your BFF, Apollo. Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. No one's too old to use BFF. What the Apollo, go back to the 18th century if you're going to be like that. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Hey, no talking about me behind my back. What kind of guy is he anyway? Well, if I had to describe him in one word... And so, after some slight arm twisting, Apollo promised me to meet the friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. And that's when he became emo. Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. Even now, those words continue to ring in my head. Ears, that works too. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo, why? Why would you leave us all behind? We continue? Okay. I like that everyone else gets like R or something, or like a nice shot, and then there's just Gavin here, just being pretty. Alright. So that is episode 3 done. As usual, because it's the next case is, how long have we been going for? I think it's been at least an hour. Yeah, it's been an hour. So what we'll do is that, as usual, we will check out a preview for the next case. He's only exists for a plot kind of guy. He's only there to die. He's basically a red shirt from Star Trek. We'll continue, but we won't start it. So let's do it. And now we're back to the present, or the future, or whatever. Courtroom bombing incident. A terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Mr. Wright brought it to the resolution. Of sorts. Petonate was discovered to be the one responsible for the bombing. If only it were that simple. Somehow I can't help but think that there's a darker influence at work, one that's lurking in the shadows waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, I got more than a few personal stakes in it. Episode 4, The Cosmic Turnabout. Whoa! Ooh, space. Whee!
remaining until launch. Please begin your final equipment check.
Why is there a guy there dressed up like he's
Check complete.
he's a boat captain?
Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
Never mind.
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
Here we go. December 16th. 9:12 a.m. Co-op defendant lobby. Number 5. Oh, hey, it's the one that gets blown up. But we shall find out more about that next time. Do not save. Are you sure you want to quit the game? Yes, because we did save beforehand. Because we're going to be watching that next time so we can catch up and remind ourselves. The intro is different. Is it? I don't know. Is it? But we shall find out next time what happens in that. It had different music originally. Oh, okay. Maybe it was too upbeat before and they just changed it for more tense and dramatic music. But yeah, for now, we shall stop there. I know it's a bit shorter than normal, but I like to try and keep the episodes separate in streams if I can. As long as it's been an hour, I'm fine leaving it for the other ones, especially considering the next case is going to be, if I recall correctly, I think the next case is actually a 2-parter. So that's why we're kind of like spreading it out a bit. But next time we're going to be going into it, and it is definitely my favorite case. If it's not the first part of it, it's the second part. It's probably my favorite, but we'll find out. It's been a while since I played it. Like I said, I don't remember a lot. I just remember like key moments. I think this is one of them, but we shall see. But yeah, we will start this on Thursday. Tomorrow I'll be back with more Halo Reach, so tune in for that. As usual, thank you for joining. Hope everyone enjoyed. Like, follow, subscribe, do that bell notification, you know when our next stream. And if you want to help support me, there's links to Patreon and tips in the description as well. And if you do become a patron, you get your name added here to the patron list, where I give you a shout out at the end of every stream, like I do with Hiroru Kuni and the Swordmaster 37. And I thank you for the continued support, and I greatly appreciate you. And I take you to court, and we go against a guy that looks like he's made out of statue, and then we make him break down when he breaks his teeth. You know, the usual. This case leads into the next case. Yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah, that's it for today. So thank you all for watching. Hope everyone enjoyed. I'll see you all tomorrow. And until then, y'all take care. Have a nice day. And take care of yourselves. So then, bye-bye. Bye, Raphatron. Bye, everyone else. Bye-bye. Bye.